Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to respond to the question that's been posed to me by the Honourable Member. Mr. Speaker, sir, the rural to urban migration, urbanization, is one of the primary reasons for the increase of informal settlements in our urban and semi-urban areas. Informal settlement has become a major feature in Fiji's urban life for the past 40 to 50 years. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Informal Settlement Upgrade Programme is an in situ capital program that intends to improve the housing standards of people living in informal settlements across our nation. This program gives priority to the provision of basic services such as water, wastewater, drainage, roads and electricity, and a functional tenure through issuance of 99 years lease titles to eligible settlers. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry continues to carry out upgrades to informal settlements through progressive planning and preparation works that will minimize disturbance of the day-to-day activities of settlers. In the last financial year, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry has completed 3 informal settlements. Unfortunately, Honourable Bala is not here. Wandamdamu in Nausori, Lendrusasa in Nandi, and Lubu in Singotoka, with a total investment of more than 11 million. Even though the projects were the 3 projects were completed, it took a bit of time for the Ministry to complete these projects. Wandamdam it took close to 5 years, Lendrusasa nearly 7 years, and Lubu 8 years. With the completion of upgrades, we are working to finalize rural works for the issuance of 99 years lease titles that will benefit 451 households in the 3 settlements. This has been long awaited by the settlers, and we will make it a priority to issue the lease titles they rightfully deserve. Mr. Speaker, sir, preparation works for the upgrades of informal settlement goes through various phases. The preparation phases includes topographic surveys, scheme plans, environmental impact assessments, geotech surveys, and engineering plans. At the completion of these phases, construction works then commences. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the 2022-2023 financial year, 2 informal settlements have commenced construction works. These are Sakoda in Nasino, which accommodates 174 households, Tavel in Nandi, 68, and Tavel in Nandi accommodates 68 households. The total project cost for the upgrades in these informal settlements amounts to 9.9 million, out of which 5.9 million is for Sakoda and 4 million for Tavela. The 3rd informal settlement that is lined up to commence construction work in April is Field 4 in Lotoka, which has 77 households, at a total project cost of $5.3 million. So at the end of the upgrade, a total of 319 households will have access to fully serviced subdivided lots with access to basic utility services. Mr. Speaker, sir, there are 10 settlements that are in preparation phase. This financial year, 4 settlements have reached tender documentation phase and will be earmarked to commence construction works. These areas include Torre, Lobu Seaside, Nambare, and Dele Seweni settlements in Lautok. The total project cost of the upgrades of these settlements amounts to a tune of $18 million that will be made progressively. Mr. Speaker, sir, the remaining 6 settlements, Vale, Wangueya, Inba, Punika in Lambasa, Dhambati, and Wakanisila in Nasinu, Sasawira in Nausori, and Andonumai in Lami, have had their scheme plans completed and will be progressing to have the engineering plans completed by this financial year. The total project cost for the upgrades in these settlements is nearly 42 million, which is an investment that will also be made progressively. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry had acquired 2 additional development leases in the financial year for Valyamasima in Nandi and Sakwada 2 in Nasinu. The Ministry currently has a total of 48 development leases. Out of these, 4 settlements are on state land and 44 are on Itauki land. Mr. Speaker, sir, upon acquiring these development leases, the Ministry pays for the lease premium and yearly ground rentals. This financial year, we have paid close to 123,000 in lease premiums for the 2 new development leases and more than 110,000 for ground rental and renewal of lease. This process has benefited both land owners and settlers in these informal settlements. Mr. Speaker, sir, we will continue. The Ministry will continue to work with and not against informality and ensure that the livelihoods and economic opportunities for those living in informal settlements are afforded through the Informal Settlement Upgrade Programme. The upgrading and formalization of informal settlements supports Fiji's progress towards achieving one of the SDGs that was alluded earlier by Honorable Siratu, in this case SDG 11, of making cities and urban settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable, with a target ensuring access for all to adequate, safe, and affordable housing and basic services, and upgrade informal settlement by 2030. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.